Alright, hey, hi, hello, how's it going guys? My name is ZetaRayZod and welcome back to more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, before I begin, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell icon so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. So the reason why I'm starting off from here was because we just finished off episode 3 and we're moving on to episode 4, and the last time I started episode 3, when I pressed continue, it started episode 3 immediately. So I kind of want to have just talk a bit first before we go on to episode 4. So last we left off, we kind of finished off episode 3. We technically, as the defending attorney, we won, but more on the sense because there was some suspicious evidence that showed up that kind of pointed the finger at someone else. Not anyone else specifically, but pointed it away from Mr. McGilded, which was the defendant that we were defending for the trial. I mean, I said it right from the get-go that it was a bit sus, and it kind of seems like it is. But as it ended, as the previous episode ended, we kind of see that the carriage was on fire and someone was inside. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But let's find out. I think maybe it's continuing on from here. Who knows? Okay, continue. Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro, which means heart or soul. Ooh, seems like it will be in multiple places. Bottom left, I know that one.
時折僕は思うのだよ、ワトソン。ホームズは物上に首を振り言った。我々が目にする事件は本当にそれが全てなのだろうか。その裏側に誰も知るもののない物語が隠れているかもしれない。ハーブティーから立ち上る湯気を追うその夢見るような眼差しの先にはきっとあの雪の日の夕刻の情景が浮かんでいたのだと思う。ブライアーロードの歩道に倒れ伏した若い女性とその背に刺さった狂人。ガス灯の明かりが柔らかく切り取った奇怪な事件現場の情景。不可解な姿なき犯人の事件は薄い霧の中静かに幕を開けたのだった。
Interesting. I wonder who we're defending this time. Oh crap! I forgot the voice I gave him. British Supreme Court Lord Chief Justice's Office. I wish it'd go a bit faster. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? No, not at all. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms are so luxurious. I felt like we were staying in a palace. And with all the gaslights twinkling, it was brighter than day, even in the middle of the night. What about the enormous beds? After my time in the SS Berea, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. Oh yeah, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except, I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms. That dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Oops, sorry about that. The building was so impressive and the entrance so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. In a lodging house in Japan, that sum of money would put a roof over your head for a whole year. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented with the bill. Ugh, really am sorry. Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. And if you're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. Ugh, London's a scary place. Good morning to you at this early hour. I think it's male, yeah. Mael. Oh, yes, well. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We've come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. Sata sounds amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart. Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices. Oh, yeah, it was very eye-opening. Thank you. And in accordance with your instructions, Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end. Yes, I've already been apprised of events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed. Oh, no longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern land. Thank you very much. So I'm a lawyer now? Wait, I thought I came here to study, not become a lawyer immediately. Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem? Another case already? Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure I don't sense the satisfaction, do I? Oh, it's just that yesterday's trial ended unusually. I haven't quite come to terms with it. What's to come to terms with? The man was cleared. What more were you hoping for? He has a point. I mean, like I said in the previous episode, that's the point of a defending attorney, right? The culpability of the defendant has not, at the present time, has been established by this court. Consequently, Jesus, I can't do it with an accent. Consequently, the jury would not be required to pre-offer judgment. Well, Lord Van Zieks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fellow, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. Such suspicious behavior. I just can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent. Mr. Naruhodo, it's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended. It's not your job. Your job is just to clear your attorney, your client. Well, you needn't let it trouble you for a second longer. Sorry? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? Magnus McGilded passed away. Immediately following the trial? What? What happened? Was he in the carriage? Yo. What? Mr. McGilded is dead? He was in the carriage? I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk. I've already examined everything, haven't I? Yeah. No point looking at it again. Converse. I don't understand. What happened? How can he be dead? After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you'll presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom. Yes, of course. That was the scene of the crime, which Mr. McGill had been accused of. Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames. No. How could such a thing have happened? That is being investigated as we speak, but already the police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage as that of Mr. McGilded. Oh shit, that is him. It's awful. The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere. The bailiff really needs to pay more attention. And how could that have happened? That is also being investigated as we speak. Suspicious. Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus. He did? So is the bailiff the one that killed him? Well, I must be making tracks now. It is time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I've asked if I could be present for it myself. An inspection of the omnibus? Not to my knowledge. I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage. But then who was Mr. McGilded talking about? Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police. Poor Mr. McGilded. Yeah, he was a dick, but you know. Nobody deserves that kind of death. Burning to death is the worst. If you guys could pick, would you freeze to death or burn to death? I don't know. I think both suck. So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court? Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was... wow. Mr. Naruhodo means that the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. Wow, Susato-san is such a way of words. And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones. Did I say that out loud? The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can. I will. The most advanced in the world, is it? It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair.
Simple? That was simple?
As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose.
I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but the case was anything but simple.
Kinda seems like Strongheart knew my Gilded was gonna get away with it, actually. The circumstances of the case were so incriminating. I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. But at the same token, like, if McGilded is so rich, I mentioned this in the previous episodes as well, like, if he's so rich, why would he personally murder this guy? Just for, like, what, a 50 guinea? I mean, he could have hired someone else to do it. It seems just weird to me. Is something funny? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent, wouldn't you agree? Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, it's the evidence, man. Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I fully admit. That much at least is an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before. What's going on? What was he gonna say before?
New case. Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned?
Don't tell me it's a murder. And the trial starts in 10 minutes. Don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, this case is completely different. Oh, I see. Did you just read my mind? That is to say, no one has died as yet. Didn't a lady get stabbed in the back? And the trial will not be today. There's plenty of time to research the case thoroughly. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise. Huh. So the trial's tomorrow then.
Is everything alright?
Oh, yeah, just a little confused, that's all. Yesterday's trial was... well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
I don't know if I can face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilda's trial. Ah yes, I nearly forgot. There is one similarity with yesterday's case. Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense. Oh. If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented. And if that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome.
The most terrible end awaits the defendant.
Death. Yes, that's right. Oh, here we go again. Kinda seems like he's forcing my hand. Wait, maybe he's forcing it. There's actually like 20 people waiting in line, but he's just like, you know, let's just let this guy do it. Time is up. You'll have to excuse me. I'd advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. Ever ticking. There is now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits. Last time he mentioned the 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time. And one more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. There is something I should like to ask you. Oh, what's that? Yesterday you remarked upon something. That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Osogi. I would be interested to hear what exactly you mean by that. Me too. Inside 34 seconds. Oh, well, Kazuma always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the great justice system in the world works so he could change hours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself. And there's another thing. Oh. Another thing? Continue. On the way here on the steamship, he said something to me. There's something very important that I have to do. Something very important. And what exactly would that be? He never had a chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he ever made it to Great Britain. You're out of time. Well, thank you for an enlightening discussion.
Mr. Naruhodo, what's all this about? Mr. Asogi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me.
I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand. Oh, that's the guy that was in the cutscene at the end. I've taken the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. He will be able to apprise you of the details. How long has he been there? How long has he been there? So, I wish you the best of luck and bid you farewell. Is he holding? He's holding chips in his hand.
There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean?
I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we had better talk to the detective, don't you think?
Yes, you're right.
He's holding potatoes in his hand. I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. Everyone's a little bit racist sometimes. Nah, let's not jump the gun. He's probably not racist. But there are some... Yeah, he's eating potato chips, man. But there are kind of like racial undertones going on, you know? Like how the Giselle undermined the Japanese court, the Japanese people, so on and so forth. Did you see that? Hold up. I think that potato came back up. Look at that. Can we trouble you? What do you think?
What do you think?
Lovely weather, isn't it?
What's the weather got to do with anything? Listen to me, young Japanese upstart. Some frippery about the weather doesn't get every English gen in and out of your hands, you know?
But Sato-san told me it was foolproof. I'm a busy man. I'm a very busy man. Oh, he's eating the fish. It's fish and chips.
There's a crime scene to investigate, and I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry.
Can you imagine what the other officers there will be saying? Hmm? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have you?
No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. And all because of some bumpkin who's here on a job from a country I've never even heard of.
Hear that ripping sound? That's my reputation at the yard going to tatters.
Still need to rip us apart as well.
I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Ryonosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer.
Huh?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant,
Huh?
It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it?
It's unseasonably flying, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine. Unbelievable! How did she pull that off? So, Lord Strongheart has asked me to fill you in on the case.
The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from Scotland Yard.
Gregson! That sounds familiar too. I'm not sure if it's in a book.
Gregson? Inspector Gregson?
What's the matter with Sato-san? Does this detective's name mean something to her?
Inspector, are you perhaps the Inspector Gregson?
From the books, isn't it? You're acting like you know this man, Mrs. Sato, but he's a London detective.
Oh, I do know him. Very well, in fact.
Very well?
Yes, he's featured prominently in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, in that publication. What's it called again? Rance Magazine?
That's right. Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful, friendly rivalry.
Really? You rival the great Mr. Sholmes? It's incredible.
Oh, well, I don't really need, I don't know about that.
Was it Gregson? It was Lestrade, wasn't it? In the books, Lestrade was an incompetent detective. It's Gregson here, isn't it?
Mr. Sholmes is a professional like myself, of course, but he does come up with the goods from time to time. Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson's the pick of that lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Those were his own words.
That's his highest praise?
Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see.
That he's not, and thanks to that magazine, my name's known all over London town now. That's great, isn't it? Huh. I have to admit that to start with, I was a little, well, flattered by all the attention.
Everyone wanted to shake my hand, and my reputation at the yard went through the roof.
Well, that's wonderful.
No, it is not.
There's nothing more sinister than a man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They're whispering rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. Rumors?
Are you quite sure?
He's changed since
Since he started appearing in these stories, the fame's gone to his head. Stuff like that. Gosh, do you really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you? Like I said, they whisper, so I can't catch exactly what they're saying. But I know what folks are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying. As sure as eggs is eggs. Eggs are eggs, don't you mean? I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. Oh dear, perhaps the sudden rise to fame does change people. The case. Let's talk about the case. So, about the case that the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. Nothing to tell, really. As far as we're concerned at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. Oh dear, that probably means, as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. Wish you're wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right. A young woman was walking along the pavement of Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she's still laid up in hospital, unconscious. That's despicable! What sort of coward would attack the poor woman from behind? I suppose you would have finished whoever it was with a Sasato takedown, wouldn't you? That is neither here nor there, Mr. Naruhodo. Brace yourself, Ronosuke. You've angered her now. Back up, back up. Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest. Damn, I want that magic newspaper. The fish just keeps respawning. So there must have been something left at the scene that led you directly to the culprit? Or perhaps a reliable witness to recognize the person in question? Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one. Sorry? There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now. Why ever not? Simple. The prosecutor that's been assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Baroque Van Zieks. Ah, again. No! Sounds like you've heard of him then. Oh yeah, you're very familiar with the Lord Van Zieks. Believed to be the harbinger of death itself. The Reaper of the Bailey. Reaper of the Bailey. Lord Baroque Van Zieks, who we faced in court only yesterday. Mr. McGilda told us about him before the trial, didn't he? When Van Zieks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused as sacrificial lambs. So dramatic. And in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. This Reaper of the Bailey lately, I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty. Is that it? Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zieks, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty. What of it? Oh, well, I think that means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant. Now, you really don't have a clue, do you? What do you mean? What happened to that bloke in the end, huh? He's dead. Ah, Magnus McGilda came a cropper in that omnibus when it went up in flames. So you can't rightly say you saved the defendant, can you? What are you saying? Look, the Van Zieks can get the dirt to stick on everyone. He'll be a miracle worker. But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles. He works magic. Black magic. I'd have a good long think about that if I were you. Are we really supposed to believe that? Right, well, I filled you in as requested, and I'm very nearly out of chips. You've only been eating the fish. So I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. We're still carrying out a few investigations here. It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place. That's correct, man. And if you head over to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself. You've branded him a criminal already? He's as good as shaking like a leaf in a cell he is. I'll give you a chuckle if nothing else. He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way. Inmate 53. Thank you. Interesting. So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say. Is something troubling you, Miss Naruhodo? To tell the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage, too. What if the man they've arrested is innocent? You could well imagine he would be shaking like a leaf in a cell. And I, for one, wouldn't find the sight of that funny. So, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. And I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I'd like to try, so I think I'm gonna make some inquiries. Will you help?
Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I'm your judicial assistant.
Thank you. So then, shall we?
Yes. Let's go.
Alright, let's move. Let's go to prison first. I want to see who I'm dealing with. Ah! It's like a bug here. Go away. So these are British prison cells.
Oh, they're ghastly. Feels just like a dungeon.
Yeah, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls.
Oh, don't, Mr. Naruto. You're making it seem worse.
Apparently, our client is in this cell here, but it's so dark at the back that I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like. Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop by idling at the back of the cell. Show your face at once. Am I a cat? As yet with no name? Call me by a number. It's utterly unbelievable. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer. I'm just giving him a random voice now until I like get a good look at him.
Mr. Naruto, what do you think is going on here?
I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese. Oh, he's Japanese. Oh, hey, buddy. Look at his eyes. He's like anime eyes. Excuse me, but who? Shh. Quiet. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening. Even now, I can sense it. What's going on? This guy, his eyebrows are askew as well. They look drawn on. Right. So, could I ask you who exactly? There you are. You come across me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost? He's a nut.
You mean you no harm, prisoner-san? Are you Japanese by any chance?
Oh, his eyes cleared up. This is beyond my wildest dreams. Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry. Oh, it's fine. We were just a little surprised, that's all. Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am, in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumentally moving moment! He's so extreme, I love him. I could have guessed that this new client Lord Strongheart assigned to us would turn out to be a fellow Japanese. What compassion my fellow countrymen show to dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never-falling Nippon. I love him.
First-class lawyer?
Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here.
I wonder, would you be so kind to tell us what's happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example?
Yes, I can. I will. Shan't stay solid and silent. He's interesting. I feel like he's a teacher or something. Or maybe like a poet? He looks like a poet. And he's like saying all these words as well.
I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy.
Yeah, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be. Thank you for your cooperation. I am a lawyer, as you said. My name is Shiranosuke Naruhodo.
And I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba.
I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notoriously named Natsume. Soseki Natsume. Natsume Soseki. That sounds familiar, actually. Soseki Natsume. Soseki is his first name or his last name? Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet! Whoa, I knew it!
A writer of haiku. Was he saying haikus this whole time? No, I don't think so. I'm a poet, you see. Call me Soseki, please. No, sorry. I thought he was doing haiku. I'm a poet, you see. I'm a writer of haiku. Haiku, in case you don't know, is kind of like a poem where it's 5 syllables or 5 words? 5 words, 5, 7, 5. So it's 5 words, 7 words, 5 words. So it's just like a three sentence poem, but it's always going to be 5 sentences, 5 words, 7 words, 5 words. It's something of a nom de plume. A nom de plume? You mean an alias?
That's right, Naruhodo-san.
No. Don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that. I called it, by the way. I said he was a poet, and he is a poet. And haiku? That really reminds me of home.
Did I hear you say that you're a visiting student sent over here by the government?
Actually, it's actually 5 syllables. 5, 7, 5. 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5 syllables. It's not 5 words. Right? Yeah, I think it's 5 syllables. Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. First, I had to suffer that misery. Now this is beyond the pale. Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? No! I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. But just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it? No!
What do you mean?
If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. That's not a haiku either. I see. Only the other day, I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper. Wise words on white washi.
Must be man of great standing.
He's so emotional. Oh yes, so I'm often told. Often likes to be told, it seems. Accusation against you, Soseki Natsume. Natsume Soseki.
Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san?
Actually, I just want to check something real quick. Yeah, they kind of westernized it. So in Japan, it's supposed to be Mikotoba Susato, not Susato Mikotoba. Your first name should come last. So this guy's name is Natsume Soseki? Yeah, Natsume Soseki. Okay. I didn't do it. I didn't commit this atrocious murder. Murder? Oh, no, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? She was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes. Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker? I didn't see anyone. What? If I see the person who did it, do you think I'll be locked up in here?
Oh dear, seems this case is becoming rather complicated.
Again. Why me? Why me? Why that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient. I love this guy. So Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker.
It's vital that we find out more about the case.
About the case, sir. It was a cursed evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I went to the bookshop to buy some books. I was on my way back to my cursed lodging. Sure, the book wasn't a curse too. And as I was walking along that cursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman, wearing a green overcoat she was. I just thought I went to overtake her. She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold hard slabs of stone at my feet. How terrible! I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghoulish graveyard. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. You know the like in the beginning, like the beginning scene, the shadow of the woman is long, but she seems like a nice little short lady. She got small feet too. So I ran. I suppose my legs would carry me back to my cursed lodgings. Oh, that's suspicious behavior, dude. That's not good. Yeah, you should have called the police. They'll say it was shameful, I know. To run away like that.
Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours?
Don't be ridiculous. Do you think I know any of these fair-haired English? And a young woman at that. I'm diffident, shy, timid, unsure. I can't talk to people. I see. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Anybody pass you? Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one? Oh, great. So the victim is unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it? Huh? What conundrum? A conundrum is that he's the only witness. What do you mean, Susato-san? Oh, I think I get it. In the previous couple of episodes, I was just wondering like why sometimes he says Susato-san and sometimes he says Miss Susato. I think it's because they're interchanging between Japanese and English. So right now he's speaking Japanese, which is why he says Susato-san. I think that's why. Well, if what Soseki-san just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen. I did! But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. Ah! You! What did you just say? No, nothing. I didn't say anything. Oops. Perhaps I thought that a little loudly.
Actually, that's not what was troubling me.
How did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested? Actually, yeah, that's true. In a fog, who saw him? Sorry?
He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place?
Oh yeah, she's right. Did you drop something, Soseki? Natsume-san, sorry. It was him. The cursed great detective. He led the police to me. For all the bad luck. A cursed great detective. Could it be? Should never forget that man's name as long as I live. His haughty laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Oh. Brash, big-headed, busybody pecan. May you be cursed until the end of your days, Herr Locksholmes. I knew it. Mr. Sholmes? Herr Locksholmes. Okay, you know what? I think we'll leave this episode here. What an interesting chapter to start off with. It seems we're in a conundrum again. We have no witnesses. We have one guy that seems to fit the bill. I don't know. Again, we're probably gonna find out more as we go along, but I guess for now we'll leave this here. I guess the next episode we'll probably find Sholmes and we'll talk to him and see what deduction he made up with, because as we know, his deductions aren't exactly accurate, so it might not be right. But for now, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell icon so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. As always, be safe, take care, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace!